Thanks for watching the Council in Brief. I'm Susan Kennedy. We're here with the latest news of the Montgomery County Council. And we begin this time with an update on the Dickerson Resource Recovery Facility. Last December, a fire erupted at the plant, which resulted in the disruption of waste deliveries for several days. Recently, two council committees met to discuss the aftermath of the fire and to take a look at the overall operation of the facility. Members of the Council's Public Safety and Transportation and Environment Committees received a briefing on the recent fire at the facility and if repairs can be made. The plant is operated privately by Covanta. The county's Department of Environmental Protection has hired an investigator to determine how the fire started and to review past issues and operating procedures going forward.
I had been briefed with respect to those issues earlier in the year with respect to the concerns that the boilers in particular were not maintained at the level that they should have been, and that the efforts underway to in fact make that happen. And that we were given assurances that Covanta, who I think testified to the same, recognized that they dropped the ball and doubled down on their commitment to invest in this facility and make sure that it was in fact running as it should.
We had a lot of information presented, and our head of environmental protection has shown incredible leadership in controlling the situation, sharing as much as possible the information that they have, and making it very clear it was never a threat to either the community or the environment, to our knowledge.
The county's resource recovery facility in Dickerson opened in 1995. Waste is transported there and burned at high temperatures and converted into electricity or steam. The residue then goes to the landfill, taking up less space than trash would. There have been maintenance issues at the facility over the past few years, but council members say they don't believe these setbacks will alter how the county approaches waste disposal.
Our Department of Environmental Protection and others do believe that the incinerator, with the most modern scrubbing equipment that makes sure that the emissions are well within range, plus burning that trash and selling it for energy, is environmentally preferable to the alternatives.
In other news, discussion on the White Oak Plan and transportation improvements associated with the project. The redevelopment of White Oak is expected to generate more than 20,000 peak-hour vehicle trips, with the developer paying a fee to the county to cover transportation improvements there.
Now, we can't control the timing of those projects on the private sector, but we can, to a certain degree, control and support moving those the infrastructure projects forward with a little bit more certainty over the income stream that we will be receiving to pay for all that.
The council has approved a bill that would create a neighborhood action team to address blight and quality of life issues in Montgomery County neighborhoods. The measure will evaluate problem areas in communities and establish a plan to address those issues affecting residents' satisfaction with their living conditions.
These problems could include crime. They could include a need for street or sidewalk or curb repair. They could include illegal dumping. They could include lack of trash collection. There's a wide range of issues, and when they aggregate, then the whole neighborhood declines and residents feel ignored. And it's difficult for residents to know sometimes who to call. And so where you have a unit that is coordinating and reporting to the community on a quarterly basis, it gives residents the sense that their problems are being addressed and taken seriously, and that's the purpose.
The departments and with the regional services director have been doing this informally, but it was important to formalize it because I believe that this is a really great best practice. We've seen some changes in some of those neighborhoods. We've seen ownership of community members doing, cleanups and coming together and really looking out for each other. I think it really works. We have to think about community building, and we have to think about who do we have, which partners do we have in those communities that can also come in and help build that cohesion.
Well, that wraps it up for this edition of the Council in Brief. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.